On average, each Rwandan da'i gets approximately 215 shahadas every year. This Dhul Hijjah, we're hoping to raise enough to support 10 du'at so they can give da'wah throughout the whole of next year. Inshallah, this can culminate in potentially over 2,000 shahadas. Imagine the reward for every action a new Muslim does. You get a part of it. Donate now and invest in your akhirah. Assalamu alaikum guys, and welcome to another episode of Smile to Jannah. Drake, or Drizzy, probably one of the most famous rappers of all time, and I would say the most influential in this day and age. I think that's uncontested. So I don't think it would be a surprise if you've got the powers that be that would try to use him to put forward their agenda. Now, what agenda am I talking about? I think we know, because this is LGBTQ month, and in a recent stream that Drake was a part of, there's a famous clip going around of his card being rejected, but that's not the issue, because people have noted, and let's have a look at his nails. There you go. He has yellow fingernails. Mate, rap is supposed to embody masculinity. Some people can argue that it goes too far on one extreme, that it in fact represents toxic masculinity. Yeah, getting guns and gangs and fights and stabbings and all this sort of stuff. But Drake, on the other side, who is a representation of this genre, it's very interesting to see how it has been infiltrated. And it was also interesting, I was looking at some comments on DJ Academic's Instagram when he asked the people what they think. I would say the majority were unhappy with this, and a lot of people were saying, he's lost me as a fan, mate. He's gone too far. It was good while it lasted. And the odd comment going, why do we even care about this stuff? And it's these people that are the rotten apples in the crate that are going to spoil the others. Like, why do we care? I mean, why should we not care about this? Is masculinity not worth caring about? Is the family unit not worth caring about? Of course it is. And because I don't listen to music anymore, alhamdulillah, I don't know what goes on in the scene as much as say I used to. So upon doing a bit of research, I realized that Drake is not the first rapper to do this. There's somebody called Lil Yachty. Had to say it in the American accent, because if I say it in the British accent, it sounds a bit weird. Lil Yachty. Sounds a bit, now I'm saying, not very gangster. But unfortunately, when you look at his nails, he's done something very similar as well. So some people are saying Drake has been hanging around Lil Yachty a little too much. There's a saying, I don't know who is attributed to, they say if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. And that's the thing, a lot of these rappers have to sacrifice so much, their ideals, their morals, their ethics, just so they can be famous, just so they can get the contract, just so they can maintain that lifestyle. Because you have a mansion and suddenly you're losing contracts, you're going to lose the mansion. If you're used to living a certain way, you're going to make compromises. And that's what these guys capitalize on. So like I said, masculinity is under attack. And you know me, I'm going to back up what I say. I don't just say stuff. In fact, in the last couple of weeks, you just go on our website, our news website, s2jnews.com. If you don't know this website by now, mate, have you been living under a rock? Yeah? You need to bookmark that website, mate. You need to follow it on Twitter and Instagram, yeah? And if you do, you will realize that we have an article. Here you can see Disneyland. A man with a mustache dressed as a fairy godmother. So they are forwarding this agenda to our kids as well. Disneyland, for God's sake. If that's not all, have a look at this magazine. You have allegedly a pregnant man on there. Ooh, what's going on? And I'm sure you've been following the news yet again on S2J News. Philip Schofield, homosexual man doing madness with a kid, mate. Again, I have to be very careful with the language I use, otherwise I'm going to get flagged. Now, proven masculinity is under attack. So what? I'll tell you so what, it's affecting the family unit. It's affecting relationships, because if on the one hand, the man is a woman, then you have the woman who has to be a man to compensate for that balance. And because of that, we have unstable homes, and it is jeopardizing the futures of the kids that are coming from those broken homes. They're more likely to be delinquents and drug abusers and obese. The study lists so many things, but it's affecting this generation, mate. So what do we do? I'm not just going to leave you in the lurch. I would say as parents, I would say as males yourselves, be aware of this. Yeah, because if you're aware of it, then inshallah, God willing, you will do something about it. Now, what could you do about it? Do the typical things that you've been hearing, I'm sure, on social media already. Go to the gym, look after your physique, eat healthy, hang around masculine people. Not just any masculine people, but masculine people with experience and with knowledge. They say iron sharpens iron, so that will be very beneficial. And take your education seriously. I'm not just saying the traditional route. Any education, you could be any age, you can do courses online, you could still go to college, you can, get an apprenticeship, whatever it is. Stand on your own 2 feet and ensure you're stable such that you'll be able to keep your family stable as well. And not to mention, invest in improving your confidence and your communication, because this is how you will be judged. This is how your future spouse will judge you. This is how your potential employer will judge you. And this is how strangers will judge you as well. By the way you carry yourself, by the way you articulate yourself, and your religion as well. And most importantly of all, fix your relationship with Allah, and Allah will fix your relationship with the people. Guys, don't let stuff like this slide. Make sure you share this content, and in your circles, I hope you're going out and maintaining, if you have good friends, you're going out with a meal, and it's important to be social as well. There's research to suggest that people that are social beings, they tend to live longer, and those that aren't, it affects their health and of course their lifespan as well. So when you are in these circles or you're watching this as a family, when you switch it off, discuss these things, discuss the implications and the dangers, and make sure you're able to articulate, because these sorts of discussions, they will help you articulate these things such that when it comes time for you to speak, you can speak. Because unfortunately and sadly, people that aren't used to doing it at home, they're not going to be able to do it at school. If you can't do it at school, you're not going to do it at work. If you can't do it at work, you can't do it out and about. Let's leave it there, guys. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.